let's jump ahead to our last matchup of quarterfinals. I'm up, only one pick left. And that's Benfica taking on the champions of Group B, Lyon. Our squad from Benfica, they end up with the toughest draw of the bunch, drawing Lyon, arguably the worst outcome on the board for them, considering they couldn't draw Barcelona. This Benfica side, though, we've mentioned it prior, they've grown up big time during the tournament.
Yep.
They get started with the 5-0 loss to Barca. This kind of went a little bit under the radar for me. So they lose 5-0. Then they win back-to-back must-have matches over Rosengard and Eintracht Frankfurt. Then they string together 2 straight away draws, not easy to do, before earning another draw against just the greatest women's football team ever assembled. One interesting thing to note on Benfica, not counting goalkeeper Lena Powell's, they've been another team with a lot of flux within their lineup. They've only had 3 players start all 6, Marie-Yasmine, Andreia Faria, and Anna Gasper. And then again, outside of Powell's, they've only had 5 players total play in all 6. The 3 I mentioned, plus Catarina, Amado, and Nycole Raysla, who's been awesome. So
yeah.
I kind of wonder if we have yet to see this Benfica side at full strength. And then even despite that, they were still able to string together 5 straight Champions League results, 5-match unbeaten streak, nothing to sneeze at. But what's better than a 5-match unbeaten streak? How about a 6-match unbeaten streak, which is what Lyon brings to these quarterfinals. Super intrigued to see, like you mentioned, the fact that this leg starts with the runner-up playing at home. So I just feel like if you're Benfica, you just drew with Barcelona at home, which could have easily been a win, by the way. I mean, are you going to be that terrified when Lyon comes to town? Or are you going to feel like, they might be in for something?
I don't think they'll be scared. I think they have shown that is their DNA. But I think Lyon is going to look at this matchup and say, look at our DNA. We don't think we can win the tournament. We know we can win the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
This is our trophy, is really how Lyon looks at this. They have won the UEFA Women's Champions League 8 times since 2011.
Come on, man.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, I think they come out in this match and they look to score early, which I think we talk about them all the time. Even with Barcelona, they've had matches where, like we talked about one of the matches, Barcelona's match day 1 against Benfica, where they didn't score in the first 15. Lyon is almost guaranteed a goal in the first 12, it feels like. It's just outrageous how quickly they're able to score in every single match. You have Selma Bacha, who is just an absolute nightmare down the left-hand side. And then we've talked about it. Where do you want him to score? How do you want him to score? Eugénie Le-Sommer, Ada Hegerberg, and Kadidiatou Diani. Where are they going to score from? Wherever you want. Drop the ball somewhere within 30 yards. And not only are they skilled enough, they are audacious enough to take any shot from any angle at any time on their first touch, if you want, and they can score. So I think Lyon is going to come out here. I don't think they're going to be psyched about that draw that they had in the final fixture of match day 6. And it might be that meme of, I think it's Bugs Bunny. He hammers a nail into the back of a bear, and then he runs away, and the bear turns around, and Elmer Fudd is standing there. I don't think Benfica is necessarily Elmer Fudd, but not a great look when you have to deal with a very pissed off Lyon side.
Another fun stat that I saw, Benfica, they haven't lost a group stage match since Christy Ucheibe has played, since her return. So that's 5 in a row that they haven't lost. And then when she returned, they've gone to almost exclusively a back 3, which I also found interesting. I mean, first of all, she's a menace too. She's super, super hard to deal with. Yeah. She covers a lot of ground. And the fact that she's back and that gave them the green light to kind of go to the back 3, feel comfortable doing it. They did give up goals, but I mean, the strategy worked out swimmingly. Yeah. On the Lyon side, I mean, you called it out. Not quite as prolific as Barcelona, but still 9 different players with a goal, 3 different players with 3 goals, Majri, Däbritz, and Gilles, 2 different players with 5 goals, Diani and Ada Hegerberg, and 11 players who've notched an assist. I'm glad you called out Selma Bacha. I think Lyon are absolutely at their best when they're playing Bacha ball. When you look at the shot creating actions, she's been credited with 46 shot creating actions in 6 matches. That's 8 ahead of the next best in this category, Barcelona's Carolina Graham-Hansen, who's notched 38. So Bacha's creating, I don't want to say everything, but she's creating all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be pretty tricky for Benfica to deal with. We'll kind of see what adjustments they make defensively, but should be a really fun matchup.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, great call out with Bacha's ability to create shots for her teammates. It's one of the stats that I think matches up so perfectly and really says a lot. Lyon's goal differential is plus 20. Their expected goal differential is plus 21.7. When they have a look, they're scoring. Like, it's just an unbelievable conversion rate. And so shout to Benfica. Like, we talk about them being like them and Portugal as kind of like a women's footballing country, like being on this awesome trajectory, and they're doing a great job. And from what I understand, hopefully I'm not getting this wrong, but I think we talked about during the World Cup, Portugal is investing in the women's game over there. So that is all great. Man, feels like you might be running into a buzzsaw on this one.
Yeah, very tough draw for them. I think the one thing they can hold on to, though, they really have not rolled out their whole squad yet. I mean, the last two matches without Kika Nazareth, Lúcia Alves missed games. Ucheibe missed the first one against Barcelona. I mean, you really, when you look at it, they might have a little time to gel. And I think at the very least, it's still just 2 matches, right?
That's true.
At the very least, they might be able to come out and kind of shock Lyon. It's going to come down to what are they going to do about Bacha, and how's the backline going to deal with that Lyon attack?
Yeah.
And are they going to be able to possess enough of the ball to not just hand Lyon chances? Because, like, to your point, in the first 7-8 minutes of every match, it feels like it's always 1-0 Lyon. They got to do whatever they can to avoid that. And against Barcelona, they gave up too early, right? So they're down, I think, at the 25-minute mark, somewhere in that neighborhood. They're already down 2-0. They definitely have to avoid that against this Lyon side, especially opening the tie at home.
That's a good point. It also kind of like made me realize they were down 2-0 to Barcelona and clawed back. So I guess, they could always hang their head on that. Like, even if Lyon, now I wouldn't recommend giving up goals early to Lyon, but that's really interesting that you bring that up. Like, obviously, like we talked about that match last week, I guess they have that in their back pocket to be like, look, if we go down early, we know we can scratch this thing out. But man, Lyon, they get a taste of blood, and they are relentless.
Yeah, I mean, Diani's so clinical that if she's got the chances, she's going to score.
Yep.
If she touches the ball 3-4 times inside the 18, that's at least a goal or two. So I feel like Benfica got the toughest draw. Maybe you can make a case that Barcelona also had maybe the toughest or second toughest draw. We'll talk about that one later.